Imagine a world 10 million years ago, where the ocean's apex predator, the Megalodon, ruled the coasts. This was a time when true leviathans patrolled ancient coastlines, and humanity was just beginning to emerge. Along these treacherous shores, our ancestors, the early hominids, carved out a precarious existence.
Every step, every search for food was fraught with danger. The ocean's edge was a frontier of survival.
Their ingenuity sparked. The critical need for food and protection sparked unparalleled innovation. How could a handful of early humans possibly survive, let alone hunt, a creature the size of a school bus? A creature with jaws that could crush bone? This was the undisputed king, the Megalodon. They witnessed its terrifying power. A casual demonstration of dominance, a warning to all. Against such power, how could they not only survive, but thrive? A desperate question, demanding a bold answer. We're diving into the ingenious, terrifying strategies they used to turn the tables on the ocean's most feared hunter.
Its name means big tooth, a predator of unprecedented scale, making modern sharks seem like mere minnows. Its jaws were a bone-crushing engine, lined with up to 276 teeth, each one a razor-sharp dagger. Scientists estimate its bite force at over 40,000 pounds per square inch, enough to crush a car.
From the open ocean to the shallow estuaries, no marine creature was safe from its predatory reach.
Early humans often sought refuge in coastal lagoons and river mouths, a deceptive sense of security. But these massive sharks would venture into shallower coastal waters, drawn by abundant prey, and often by curiosity. These were directly interacting with early human territories, turning fishing grounds into hunting grounds.
The constant danger, the existential threat. This predator exerted immense pressure on their survival. Survival itself demanded adaptation, a daring shift from prey to a proactive force. Could primitive ingenuity truly stand a chance against a 60-foot shark? They were about to find out. Survival wasn't just about strength. It was about intellect, a profound understanding of their world. Beyond primitive tools, they possessed a sophisticated understanding of environment and animal behavior.
They were keen observers of marine life, understanding the intricate dance of predator and prey in the ancient seas.
They studied the tidal patterns, the powerful pulse of the ocean, realizing its potential as a tool. Their existing knowledge of hunting and trapping land animals was the precursor to grander ideas.
From the forest floor to the ocean's edge, their ingenuity was about leveraging natural forces.
The ocean was vast, but they found its weakness: natural bottlenecks and choke points.
Envisioning how nature itself could become a cage for the largest predator.
This was the birth of a hypothetical blueprint, transforming the coastline into a weapon. The stage was set, not just for survival, but for an audacious, unimaginable challenge.
The first step was to tame the battlefield. At low tide, the ocean floor revealed its secrets and its challenges.
Every obstacle had to be removed, every natural feature leveraged. A monumental task of brute force and cooperation. A clean slate for their grand design. They meticulously prepared the underwater terrain for its deadly purpose. They studied the geology, identifying natural anchors, weaknesses in the very rock that could serve their ambition.
Day after day, tide after tide, their persistent labor slowly reshaped the natural landscape.
Beyond the shore, a new resource. The forest would provide the timbers for their colossal cage. A forest giant fell, providing the raw power needed to contain the ocean's apex predator. From raw timber, they forged sharpened spears. A dense, underwater forest of death was taking shape.
A grueling march from forest to sea. Every log represented hours of labor, a collective act of will. The raw materials were gathered. The forest had yielded its weapons. The coastal ambush was one step closer.
But stakes alone would not hold a god. They needed a web to ensnare the Leviathan.
The forest was their hardware store. They sought its strongest fibers, its toughest vines. Each vine was stripped, prepared, its hidden strength revealed for their grand purpose.
Individual strands became a mighty rope, their combined strength far greater than the sum of its parts. And so, the great web began. A colossal net, woven by the hands of an entire community. Day after day, the net grew, a testament to their unwavering focus and their incredible capacity for cooperation.
Every knot was a masterpiece of primitive physics, designed to tighten with the monster's struggles. Their engineering was tested. It had to be strong enough to hold back a living earthquake.
The great web was complete, a weapon of patience, cooperation, and astonishing ingenuity.
All the pieces were in place. Now came the most dangerous part, assembling the trap in the monster's own domain.
The assembly began, a race against the returning tide. They had only hours to build their cage. They dug the foundations of their trap, their primitive tools battling against the ocean floor. The ocean was filled with lesser dangers, constant threats that tested their resolve at every turn. The first stake was driven home, a single, defiant tooth in the jaw of their massive trap. A forest of sharpened wood grew from the seabed, a primitive gate against a living god. The great web was moved, its immense weight a testament to their ambition and their desperation.
From the high cliffs, they prepared to raise their weapon, a curtain of death to be dropped from above.
With muscle and vine, they hoisted the great net, a slow, agonizing process against the pull of gravity. The trap was armed, an entire ocean of force, held in play by a single, crucial pin.
Their work was done. The stage was set. Now, all they had to do was summon the monster. The trap was ready. A silent, deadly stage, awaiting its colossal actor. And then, a gift from the sea. The perfect bait to summon the king of the depths.
They prepared the lure, their hands working fast, their hearts pounding with a mixture of hope and terror. They entered the monster's domain, dragging their offering, a siren song of blood on the water. A scent trail spread, an invisible highway, a summons to the greatest nose in the ancient seas. Miles away, the king caught the scent, and the hunt began, a slow, inexorable journey towards the trap.
The tide turned, the clock was ticking. They began to pull the bait, and themselves, into the jaws of the trap. High above, the trigger team waited, their hands holding the fate of their clan and the fury of the sea. And then they saw it, a dark triangle on the horizon. The king was coming to claim his offering.
A desperate race to the finish line, to pull the bait into the trap before they became the bait themselves.
A final heave. The bait was in place, their own lives now hanging by a thread. The Titan took the bait, its ancient instincts overriding all caution. It swam into the trap. It swam past the point of no return, into the heart of the human-made labyrinth. The signal was given. The moment had come. The fate of the clan, in a single gesture. The trigger was pulled. The culmination of weeks of labor, unleashed in a single, desperate moment. The pin released. The trap was sprung. Gravity, their silent, powerful ally, was unleashed. The great web fell. A man-made avalanche. A curtain of death for the king of the sea.
Distracted by its prize, the shark was blind to the fury that fell from above. The gate was closed.
The net and the stakes combined, creating a cache of wood and vine, a primitive but powerful prison. The king was caged. The shock of the trap gave way to the first tremors of a leviathan's fury. The Titan's fury erupted. It slammed its immense power against the primitive barrier, testing its limits. Every rope, every stake groaned under the strain. The trap was holding, but barely. Witnessing the sheer power of their captive, even the bravest felt a chilling doubt. Had they gone too far?
It attacked the very fabric of its prison, its jaws a weapon of pure, unadulterated destruction.
But the woven vines, crafted with foresight, resisted the crushing force. A shield of organic ingenuity, it tried to break free, only to become more entangled. The net became a tightening web of despair. The stakes found their mark, adding pain to its fury. The Leviathan was bleeding.
The wound was a sign. The moment for passive defense was over. It was time to attack.
They moved into striking distance, a terrifyingly close encounter with the ancient world's most powerful predator. The hunter had become the hunted, and the prey, emboldened by ingenuity, was about to strike back. A coordinated attack. Spears rained down, primitive weapons aimed at the vulnerable points of the ancient Titan. Each strike was a blow of defiance, a testament to courage against a living mountain.
The Leviathan's roar of pain turned the water into a maelstrom, a terrifying display of its dying power.
They held their ground, inches from oblivion. Every sinew strained, every nerve tested in this epic struggle.
The leader's voice, unheard, cut through the chaos, a guiding hand in the storm of blood and water.
They pressed their advantage, striking at the beast's soft underbelly, turning its strength into its ultimate weakness.
The Titan's struggle weakened, the immense life force slowly draining into the churning.
And then, silence. A deafening quiet, as the last breaths of the roar of triumph. A collective release of tension, fear, and unimaginable victory.
They had won!
They had not merely survived, they had conquered. Primitive ingenuity had toppled the ancient king. The celebration gave way to a new task, to claim the spoils of their impossible victory. Up close, the true scale of their conquest was revealed. A mountain of flesh won by courage. A final act of respect for the fallen king. A silent acknowledgement of its immense power. Their sharpest stones met the beast's armor. The first cut in a monumental task. The entire clan worked as one, a symphony of stone and muscle to claim their reward. From the monster's jaw, they claimed their ultimate trophy, the fangs of the sea. A symbol of their victory, a weapon of the fallen god, now a jewel for the new kings. They carried their future back to the cave, a future heavy with the promise of survival. That night, a great feast. Hunger was banished. The clan celebrated their new age of abundance.
The children, their bellies full, could finally sleep without fear.
The bounty was beyond imagining. More than meat, the Leviathan was a living tool chest. The shark's own teeth became their finest blades, sharper and more durable than any stone. These ultimate weapons, honed from the ancient predator itself, marked a leap in their hunting prowess. Not just for battle, these new blades revolutionized daily life, making every task more efficient. The thick, sandpaper-like hide of the Megalodon became an unexpected treasure, a new material for protection. Its hide, tough and resilient, promised new forms of shelter, new defenses against the elements. The jaw of the Titan, a fearsome trophy, now guarded their home, a testament to their victory.
No longer were they prey. The Megalodon's fate served as a stark warning to all other predators.
The art of strategy. The principles of the Megalodon trap were now etched into their culture, their very way of life.
This victory, a catalyst, it cemented their ingenuity, securing not just survival, but a path towards true dominance. Years passed. The victory over the Megalodon was not an end, but a transformation.
Their history became a legend, a story of how cunning could defeat any giant.
The weapons of the sea monster gave them mastery over the land.
Fear of the ocean was replaced by a new confidence, a desire to explore its riches.
He had led them through the valley of death and into a new age of prosperity.
The symbols of their victory became the crowns of their new leaders, a legacy passed down. But the world was still a dangerous place. New threats would always come. But now, they did not meet threats with fear, but with organized, confident defense. Their reputation had become their shield. They were no longer seen as easy prey.
The greatest victory was not over the beast, but over their own fear, their own limitations.
And so their story became a legend, a single victory in a million-year war. They had learned that true power was not in the tooth, but in the hand that wielded it.
And more powerful than the hand was the mind that could see a trap in a simple tide.
They had faced the ocean's greatest fear and learned not to conquer it, but to understand it. This was a world ruled by giants, of the land and of the sea. For millions of years, the Megalodon's reign seemed absolute, its power unchallenged.
But the world was changing. The climate grew colder, the oceans cooled, and the great shark's world began to shrink.
The king of the seas, undefeated in battle, was ultimately defeated by a changing world.
And so, the Titan vanished, leaving behind only its teeth, ghosts of a lost age.
But the small, clever ape who had faced it endured. And their age was just beginning. The stories of the great sea monster, passed down through generations, became myths, whispers of a terrifying past.
The intelligence forged in fire and fear continued to evolve, giving rise to ever more sophisticated tools.
The foundational principles of their grand trap were replicated, adapted, and refined, shaping future survival. Their legacy was a thriving civilization, a testament to the power of cooperation and collective wisdom. From that first spark of ingenuity, against unimaginable odds, arose everything we know. Every bridge, every building, every technological marvel owes its existence to those ancient acts of courage. Even today, we seek to understand the Leviathan, continuing the journey of our ancestors' curiosity. The true weapon against the Megalodon was not muscle, but the unparalleled power of the human mind. From the depths of prehistory, a lesson echoes. Adaptation, cooperation, their story is our story. A reminder that even against unimaginable odds,
human ingenuity finds a way.